we missed yesterday just because I was a little bit under the weather. So anyway, this title of the topic for today is did UE Uneducated Economist miss something? And I don't think it's so much he didn't miss something so much as maybe he hasn't thought about it this way. So what I want to talk about is after the sip of coffee. Sorry, I almost choked on that. So what I personally think he I think if I said this he would agree with it. For those who watch his channel, you could put in the comments down below if you agree with what I'm saying, if you would agree with it or not. But he talks all the time about your economics, your personal economics controls is your personal economics. It doesn't matter what the nation's doing or your state's doing or your local municipality is doing. It matters about how you view your personal economics. And what he was talking about today is, I don't fully understand story. I didn't quite catch all the story, to be honest with you. I was getting ready for work. But what he was talking about is, I guess, a bunch of rich people threw the money together, and the U.S. government or the Treasury or something like that is going to buy the TikTok and send it all to China. And he was talking about how that's a lie. I don't necessarily disagree with him. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, and what he was talking about, and this is where I'm getting to, is the people that believe this stuff don't believe in what he's talking about, which is actually the truth, versus what the garbage that they're fed by the mainstream medias and all this fluffy bullshit. So anyway, and it got me thinking. I was just like, he's missing something. Rewind, take what I just said about your personal economics and how you view them, and apply it to what he's saying here right now. So what you view the whole, the government, the politics, and all that kind of stuff, how you view your personal economics and your personal viewpoints of government. And why do you apologize, Mel? But if you take your viewpoints of what you believe in and then just kind of let it go outside of your what I heard somewhere, sphere of influence, and it might be just something I made up. I don't know. But anyway, just stuff that's out of your control, just let it go. It's going to make you stressed out. It's going to make you burned out. And no, I don't speak Spanish. And it's just going to burn you out to the point where you just can't handle your mindset and your thought, and you get stressed out and you start losing things and you start slipping. But yeah, it's just a lot to take in and be stressed out about for nothing you can really control. So just take it for what you can. Know that the stuff that's going on is what's going on, and just work with your reality with your reality and your sphere of influence of what you can actually control in your life. I'm sorry, there's a mustache hair that wants to marry a nose hair, apparently. It keeps bothering me. So anyway, that's what I really wanted to talk about as far as did uneducated economists miss something. And I don't think he necessarily missed something. I just don't think he's necessarily put the two of them together. And what's funny is, I'm literally combining two things that he said in the past. So with that, I'm going to leave that to be. I don't have anything else to really talk about that. But I will talk about what is going on today and how everything else is going. So what's going on today is, I got a big interview potentially for a promotion at work. We'll see how that goes. Hoping for the best. not expecting anything from it at all. Because honestly, there's pros and cons to it. Okay, so I'll explain what's going on here with that. Um, One biggest pro, I would finally get off the night shift. I feel like that's a huge positive. Getting off these 12 to 14 hour night shifts. Excuse me. Two, I would be off the night shift schedule. No, the second thing is I would actually be doing something that I actually enjoy doing. Where right now I'm doing something that's very labor intensive, and it gets to the point, like, I'll give you an example. The Was it Friday? I walked about, what was it? My step counter counted like 35,000 steps, and most of that time I spend with anywhere from like 30 to 70 pounds above my head, because I got to pick up the stuff and the hoppers are at my neck. So you have to truck the stuff in. So that would be over. Those days would be done. So that's another positive. Negative. Hey, R. Freeman, yeah, yeah. But a negative is I would actually take a pay cut. Believe it or not, I would actually take a pay cut doing a higher position, and mostly it's because since I'm the backup on the night shift, I get paid to do the job without the title, and I get shift differential on the night shift. So overall, between I have to give up, I have to give up the temporary pay differential. I have to give up the night shift differential to then get the positions difference. So I give up 4 to then gain 3, and overall I lose $1. Honestly, I to give up $1 an hour to be on daylight, to have my life back, to then, I can focus on the landscaping business. I'll easily make that up with the yard, with the landscaping, just being able to take on more clients. And I would honestly try to do more painting, get more in depth in the painting. I would like to paint for other landlords. I don't know how much I want to paint for like people residential. At least I don't know, maybe not in the beginning. I don't know. I'm stepping into the painting thing. I've done a lot of painting. I've worked for painting companies in the past. So it's something I want to think about how I want to handle that, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm going to check the time here. 20 after. So I'll hang out with you guys for a few more minutes. But actually, I've always wondered something about this. Oh, I can't scroll back. I didn't know I could scroll back in the comments. Well, the coffee's gone. So anyway, that was my viewpoints on that. I will wrap this video up after I talk about one more thing. And that's going to be, how are the projects coming? Thanks, Andy. Yeah, I don't know how high of expectations I have, though. This, I've applied for these a lot and never gone anywhere. I just don't want to get emotionally attached, per se. So anyway, so the other thing I want to talk about is what's going on with the job sites. I got the floor and the wobbly parts cut out. Now I got an idea of what materials I need. I'm going to try and do that, but I'm not going to be able to really do anything until after the Vegas event with one rental at a time. So I'm going to, when I get back, finish doing all that. I'm going to redo the flooring for the kitchen, do the landing when you first open up the door, cut the hole in, put the little key or whatever, the door latch hits, a piece of metal, I forget what it's called. Do that, and what else? I finish cleaning out the trailer so I can get everything that's in that unit next time I go over. I'm probably going to shove all the lighter shit. I gotta start remembering to try and watch my language better on here. I want to try and get all the lighter, fluffy stuff. And some stuff, I'm not going to be able to sell it. Just pitch it. Pillows, stuffed animals, that kind of stuff. Well, stuffed animals, I might be able to. But anyway, everything that's worth anything, get it shoved into the trailer, minus the couch. Because the couch, what I'm going to do is, in an earlier video of mine, if you've seen Special K, he has a van, and I think I'm going to ask him if I go over to his place, help him pull out the middle seats, shove half of it into his vehicle, and I'll shove the other half of the couch, because it's an L, so it's like two couches that latch together, you know, with a pin and a slot, so it's like, so anyway, I'm going to shove half of it into the Silverado. I'm probably going to try and shove the smaller half in the Silverado because it'll fit. It's a short bed, so it's like 6.5 feet. And the other half I think will fit in Special K's. He's got the van. He actually has like a full 8 feet once you take the back seat out. So, and I'm not even going to bother trying reselling it. I'm just going to take it straight to Habitat for Humanity. They said they'll take it. They'll give me a write-off come tax season. So I'm just going to do that, get it out of there. And honestly, everything else I'm going to take pictures of, leave it in the trailer. And if there's no interest in overall in like 2 months after listing everything or whatever I don't sell, that's all going to the Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity too. I don't have a ton of time to play around with this stuff. The only other option I have is my neighbor's constantly doing yard sales. I could talk to him and see if I could shove some of that stuff up there with him. But honestly, he's a bit weird. He'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, but I want 40% of what it brings in, blah 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 blah, and then he'll then lie about what it sold for. Be like, well, you had it listed for $5 and I sold it for $1. Meanwhile, he sold it for $6, and it's just like, I don't feel like dealing with it. I would rather just anything that's left over, since I'm already in the trailer, hook up the truck, tow it over there, get another tax write-off. Ta-da, done. So, with all that, I'm going to take another sip of water. There are a ton of deer out today. Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 deer over there, and I saw 3 on the way in. So anyway, with all of that, I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. And I'm going to head into work, and we'll see what happens. I'll see you guys tomorrow.